What shall we talk about? Continue with what?
What we had last night.
What was that?
The deterioration of the brain.
I thought we went into that. Has your mind stopped deteriorating? We talked about, if I remember rightly, that conflict is the very nature of deterioration of the mind, of the brain. Conflict is measurement, we've talked about it. Conflict is pretending to be one thing and doing something else. Right? Have you stopped all that?
No, sir.
No?
How am I going to stop it?
What?
How am I going to stop it?
Seeing that your brain is deteriorating, if there is conflict, so you stop conflict. It's as simple as that. We went what contributes to the deteriorating factor of the brain, and we said measurement, conflict, comparison, right? And comparison implies trying to become better than what he is, right? And all those gradations and implications of conflict have after having listened to it, see the reason of it, the causation of deterioration, has your brain, or you have understood it, and so your brain is now becoming much more sensitive, alive, active. Have you?
So, I can see certain things without necessarily going into it and trying to resolve it.
Quite right. You can see certain things. What are they?
Like I can see I'm in conflict.
Now,
But I can't.
have you found out what is the cause of conflict?
We ourselves went into it.
Yes. But were those just words or actual facts?
The facts, yes.
Then what do you do with facts? It's like having pain. It's a fact. You just tolerate pain, do you? You do something about it.
So, pain is something quite physical. I mean, if you look at, I'm just taking a simple thing like a hurt.
Can we approach the problem differently? Huh? What is freedom? You all have freedom, haven't you, here? More than you should have. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you have freedom?
So I think, with our talks which we've had, in the past two talks, I'm able to see that we've got only a certain type of freedom. Like we've got freedom only in a particular sense.
I'll tell you I'll explain to you what I mean by freedom. Is freedom to do what you like?
Provided you take the responsibility.
Huh?
Provided you take the responsibility.
Now, does freedom and responsibility go together?
I think it does.
Right? So freedom, responsibility, and discipline. Right? Discipline imposed by another, by society, by study of a certain subject which demands its own discipline?
So I think it's more discipline of oneself. It does not depend on.
Wait, now what do you mean by discipline, the word? Are you getting bored with this? Yes, little bit. Here, how do you represent the whole gang up there?
I don't represent the whole gang. I'm speaking for myself. That's
Now,
why I say-
why don't the others speak? Huh?
I feel that discipline is self-control.
Discipline is?
Self-control.
Discipline is self-control.
Self-discipline, he says, is self-control. Do you know the meaning of that word?
You must have some power over yourself. Means you must know how to act towards others.
You should have a power over yourself and should know how to act towards others.
Now, just a minute, before you say that, do you know the meaning of the word discipline? The meaning. What it means. The dictionary meaning. Do you know what it means?
I think the root comes from religion.
What?
I think the root is religion,
Root is?
if I'm not mistaken. Is religion.
He said the root is religion.
Religion. No. Sorry. The root means, it comes from the word disciple. Disciple who is, have you all got colds? Disciple means one who learns. So the meaning of that word is to learn. Right? Right? To learn. Now, have you learned about responsibility? Have you learned what it means to be free? Have you? Huh? You haven't. So, find out first, let's talk about discipline. That is to learn, right? To learn about yourself. To learn about the environment around you. To learn, say, Hindi, Sanskrit, or learn yoga, right? To learn. Do you learn to control yourself? That's what the boy said over there. He said, discipline is to control yourself. Right? What do you say?
If discipline is control over oneself.
I didn't say that. I said, do you learn about yourself? Do you learn what control means? To learn what are the implications of controlling oneself.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Don't be nervous, I'm not going to throttle you.
When we try to control ourselves,
No, have you understood what it means to control? What are you controlling? Anger?
a whole set of things.
Whole set of things. Now take one set of one of those whole things, like anger. Do you control anger? Huh?
You can't control it, but you can try not to show it.
You can't control it, but try not to show it. That's pretty good. Why don't you want to show it?
Because it may hurt others.
Huh?
It may hurt others.
So, in order not to hurt others, you don't show your anger. Is that it? But you feel angry. Now, we are learning about anger now. Right? Right? I'm angry with you. Suppose I'm not. Suppose I'm angry with you, and I won't show it, because it might hurt you. But I have the feeling, haven't I? What do I do with that feeling?
Still try to control it.
Yes, she said that, oh boy.
You keep it within yourself.
Huh?
You keep it within yourself.
That's what she said that. You keep it in yourself. What happens if you keep it in yourself? You have a boil, you have poison inside you. What do you do with it? Keep it yourself?
Get more angry.
Huh?
Get more angry.
To get?
More angry.
If you do that, you get more angry. If you keep it in yourself.
You might tell someone else, not the person you're angry with.
Huh?
You might tell someone else, but not the person you're angry with.
Oh, you are angry with somebody else, but not with the person you are angry with. That's quite good too. That's quite good too, isn't it?
No, but if you're angry with someone and you don't want to show it, you could tell someone else, not the person you're angry with, that you are angry with that person.
So you tell somebody that you are angry with somebody else. What's the point of that?
Just to comfort you.
Huh?
Comfort you.
Just to comfort yourself.
Look here, this become rather childish, isn't it? I'm asking you, you learn the language, don't you? You learn mathematics. You learn geography. What do you mean by learning?
Program your brain.
Huh?
Program your brain.
It says it's a sort of programming.
Don't use that word. I used it yesterday. Skip that word.
You're gaining knowledge.
Huh?
You're gaining knowledge.
Yeah, you gain knowledge. What do you mean by gaining knowledge?
You get knowledge.
Huh?
Slowly you become intelligent.
You become intelligent by gaining knowledge?
You come to know something different, something new. You come to your life.
What?
You come to know something new in your life.
You come to know something new in your life. Now, what is that new thing you have learned? New language? Now, what do you mean by learning?
Get information.
Huh?
Get information.
Get information.
I see this is, you are telling me something and I'm asking you something else. I'm asking you, if I may, what do you mean by learning? The word.
To inquire, sir.
What?
To inquire. To inquire.
To inquire. Learning means to inquire.
You would consider learning inquiry? Quite right. Now, how do you inquire? No, just listen first, old girl. What do you mean by inquiring?
Sir, we mean by asking each other, sir.
What? What?
Sir, we mean by asking each other, sir. Inquiry.
By asking each other, it leads to inquiry.
So you ask me and I ask you. Huh? Is that inquiry?
We put a question to someone to gain knowledge by answer.
Acquire knowledge by inquiring.
You ask someone a question to gain knowledge, to gain some information about what you don't know.
You ask questions to gain knowledge and information
About something you don't know. But I'm not asking that, old boys. I'm asking you, if I may, most politely, what do you mean by that word? Not inquire about the ants or inquire about your grandmother, but I'm asking what the word means.
Try to know something which you don't know.
All right, I see you're not getting it.
Acquire someone's language.
Huh?
Acquire someone's knowledge.
Acquire someone else's knowledge.
To go into something, sir.
Huh?
To go into something.
That's right. Now, to inquire into why Madanpalli is so dirty. Right? That would be inquiry, isn't it? Now, do you inquire why you control? Do you inquire why you get angry? Why you are restless? Or say, I am restless, tell me how to control myself. You understand the meaning now I'm asking? If you inquire, you begin to see the implications or the content, the significance of what it is to control. Right? Am I making this clear? Huh? No, you're not.
If I may deviate a bit, as I see, there is no learning when we control ourselves.
Have you asked who is the controller? I say I must control myself. But who is it that says I must control myself?
Myself.
Huh?
I am the person who's trying to control myself.
Now, who is yourself?
My mind.
Huh?
My mind.
Don't move on to another series. Who is it who controls?
It's your brain.
Huh?
It's your brain.
It's your brain.
No. You people haven't thought about it. Don't play with words.
One part of our mind which thinks that whatever I am doing is not right, tries to control.
Yes. Which is that part of the mind? Brain. Huh?
Our conscience is trying to control what we do.
What?
Our conscience,
Now, what do you mean by the word conscience?
a part of our mind which is conscious as to what we are doing, why we are doing it, whether it is right or not.
How do you deal with this kind of talk? You are just repeating some. Now let's move from that. We said discipline, right? Do you discipline yourself? Or all of you are in that big building, students. Do you control yourself there? Do you discipline yourself to get up exactly 6 o'clock in the morning, bathe, exercise, all the rest of it? Do you control, do you discipline yourself?
So we try.
Or somebody tells you you must get up at 6 o'clock. Come on, sirs, answer that question.
After some time, it becomes a matter of course.
Yes, sir, it's a matter of course. But I'm just asking you, are you disciplining yourself? I see these people. Huh?
Not fully. We discipline ourselves to a certain extent, and we try to discipline ourselves more.
Will you speak louder?
We discipline ourselves to a certain extent,
Uh,
and after that we try to discipline ourselves more and more.
He says we discipline ourselves to some extent, and afterwards we discipline ourselves a little more to meet the situation.
I asked a question, sir. You haven't understood my question. Do you discipline yourself? Learn about yourself? Explain. The meaning of the word discipline means to learn, not to control, but to learn about yourself. Right? Right, sir? That means to learn. Now, do you learn why you should get up 6 o'clock in the morning? Huh? No. So, somebody then disciplines you to say you must get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And you think you are free human beings, so you get angry. You resist. Right? Now, let somebody grow up, talk to me. Are you learning about it? Learning the importance, or learning which brings about discipline, are you studying it?
Sir, doesn't learning entail being disciplined?
What?
Doesn't learning itself entail being disciplined?
That's what I am saying. You don't have to discipline yourself, but if I am learning, that very learning is bringing about a discipline. You understand? Are you doing that?
Sir, before answering your question, I want to clarify myself about what is learning itself.
Now, what is learning? Go on. I teach you Sanskrit, right? Or I teach you Hindi, or I teach you English. What does that mean?
You are giving me something which you know and I don't know.
So, if you don't know and I know, then you listen to me, right? Do you listen to me? Not to me, to the teacher who's teaching you mathematics. Do you listen? Or you casually listen, but your attention is on that, what? So how can you listen if you are partly looking out of the window and partly listening to what is being said? You can't learn, can you? That's where conflict arises, doesn't it? The teacher tells you, please pay attention to what I am saying, right, about mathematics, and you are looking out of the window, watching that bird on the branch, right? So your attention is divided, isn't it? So you're not actually listening, right? So will you learn to listen? What it means to listen? Will you learn about it? Huh? Now, I'll tell you what it is to listen. When you listen, wait a minute, you listen to a story, right? You'll all listen to a story. Why? Huh? What?
Because it is interesting.
Because it's exciting, interesting, there is danger, there is amusement, there is thrill, all that excites you, and you listen, right? That means what? You only listen to something that's very exciting, right? And nothing not exciting. Huh?
Everything in its own way can be interesting or exciting.
Everything in its own way is interesting and exciting.
Yes, all right. That sounds very nice, but will you listen to something in your class? Listen, little girl, listen. Will you listen in your class to something that you're not interested in? Not exciting?
Sir, if you pay attention, everything does seem interesting.
Have you ever tried listening? Are you listening to me now?
Yes.
Huh? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
You are not.
No, sir, I'm not.
Huh?
I'm not.
You're quite right. At last somebody is honest. Why aren't you? It's not interesting? It's not exciting?
In spite of it being interesting, I don't know why, but I'm not being able to listen to you.
Quite right. Why? All right. Not to me. Do you listen to anybody? To your father? To your mother? To your grandmother? To your teacher? Do you listen?
Partially, sir.
Huh?
Partially.
Partially. Like a partially cooked what? Carrots. Huh? They don't understand partially. If you are listening partially, you are not listening at all. What do you say, sirs? Go on, me.
So you do only half of what your parents say, the other half you just think of.
What?
You only do half of what your parents ask of you. The other half you leave it alone.
All right, but if a very attentive parent watches you, you have to do the whole thing, haven't you? Huh? You can't dodge your parent who is watching you all the time. So you hope sometimes he won't be looking at you and do something else. Is that it?
I think we obey, so we don't listen.
Huh?
We seem to obey, we don't listen actually.
We seem to obey and not to listen.
I give up.
Sir, what exactly is blocking us from listening?
First of all, sir, do you ever listen to anybody? Just answer that question. No, right? You don't. Why? Just ask that question, find out the answer. Why don't you listen to somebody completely? All of you, why don't you listen? Huh?
Because our attention is divided.
Why is your attention divided? Are you ever attentive completely about anything? Or you're always partially attentive, partially awake, and the rest of the day partially awake and partially asleep?
Sometimes,
Huh?
sometimes you're partially awake and partially asleep.
Are you awake now? Huh? Now what does that mean?
It means that I can.
Huh? Come over here. I should come on this side. We'll put the lady on that side. If there's a girl speaks, we'll put her on that side, shall we? Right. Now, what do you mean partially awake and partially asleep?
That means, I mean that you only listen half of what the others say. The other
That's-
half,
you don't listen.
You don't listen.
Why?
You can't receive it.
Why don't you receive the answer?
Because you are in no mood to listen. You are half asleep.
Ah.
You need rest.
You are in no mood to listen, you are half asleep. Why?
Because you haven't had enough sleep.
Ah. That's a very good answer. Why haven't you had enough sleep?
You might have a lot of worries. And you must
Do
have
you have a lot of worries?
sometimes.
Do you sleep all night and feel rested the next morning?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Then will you listen when you are completely rested?
Yes, sir.
Are you rested now?
Yes, sir.
Now, sit up here. Sit up here.
So because you're confused.
At last I've got a victim. That's better. Are you completely awake now?
Yes, sir.
So, will you listen to what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I am saying discipline means to learn. Learn how to drive a car, learn how to speak properly, how to walk properly, how to eat correctly, what you eat and so on, right? That means you are learning how to walk properly. Now, is there anybody to teach you how to walk properly?
No, sir.
Therefore, how will you find out?
When you are a child,
And to answer my question, you don't know how to walk properly. Most people don't. How will you learn about it?
By looking at people who know how to walk.
Huh?
By looking at people.
That's right. By looking at people who know how to walk. Now, when you look at people, will you give your complete attention to it?
that is if you are interested in
Now, I'm
learning.
asking you, old boy. I'm asking you, you have to learn walk properly. It's nice, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Dignified. Now, when you watch somebody who is walking properly, will you give your attention to that?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes.
Right. Will you give attention to eating correctly?
Yes, sir.
Do it. Not say, yes, sir, not do it. Right? Now, will you listen to a teacher who is teaching you mathematics completely? Because you are not interested in mathematics, right? Don't look at your teachers. Right?
Yes.
Are you listening to what I'm saying now?
Yes, sir.
Why?
I like it. Interesting.
Why?
It interests me.
Which means what? Go into it a little more.
which means it gives me more of knowledge.
Which also, go on, old boy, go into it. Don't just stop there. You are interested, you want to learn from you like what I'm saying,
Yes.
and also what?
And also it will be useful for me.
Yes? And move, you've said that.
It'll help me a lot.
Yeah. You are listening to me because why? You
Because
like,
you've had more of experience than
No.
me.
do you like me?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, when you like me, you listen. Is that it?
Partially that, sir.
Partially that, partially you want to be helped, partially you want to. So put it all together. Will you listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, I'm going to tell you what it means to learn. Most of us learn by accumulating a lot of knowledge. That's what we call learning. I learn about mathematics, I learn about geography, I learn how to walk, I learn how to speak properly and so on, which is I'm gathering a lot of information stored up in the brain, and then I use that to talk, to walk, to play and so on, right?
Yes.
That's one kind of learning, right? Is there another kind of learning?
Yes, sir.
No, don't answer yet.
There is, sir.
There is. What is that?
Learning through experience.
Now, learning through experience, which means what? Must you go through every kind of experience to learn?
No, sir, you only go through the basic ones.
Huh?
That's fundamentals. Like, you try to walk. Suppose when you haven't yet learned how to walk, you fall once or twice, and suppose you have made a mistake in your step, you try to correct that.
Yeah.
That's what is called learning by experience.
All right, go on.
And suppose you are eating, you spill it on your dress.
So next time you don't.
You be careful.
So, most people learn through experience.
Yes, sir.
The mathematics teacher, Mr. Narayan, has learned a great deal about mathematics. He's trying to tell you what he knows,
Yes, sir.
and you listen, put it in your brain, and the brain says, yes, I've learned mathematics up to a certain point, which means what? You listen to his experience, to his knowledge, which becomes your knowledge,
Yes, sir.
right? And you call that learning. Wait, agreed to that?
Yes, sir.
Then ask if there is another kind of learning, which is not experience, not based on somebody else telling you. You understand what I'm asking?
Yes, sir.
Find out if there is another kind of learning.
You try to do it yourself.
Huh?
You sometimes learn by,
What?
by looking at things.
You come out here. And I've got two victims. You were here before, weren't you? Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, I thought so. Now, let's talk together. What did you say? Sit properly.
I said I sometimes learn by looking at things.
What?
Sometimes you learn by looking at things.
Now, sometimes you learn by looking. Have you looked at a row of ants? Have you looked at it?
Sometimes, sir,
No, don't say sometimes. That's
I've
awful.
looked at
Huh?
I've looked at trees.
You looked at?
Trees. Trees.
What are teeth?
Trees.
Trees.
Teeth.
Tree.
What is that?
Trees.
You looked at trees.
Yes.
Now, when you look at trees, what are you looking at? Now, listen, old boy, learn.
Yes, sir.
What are you looking at? Huh?
just
You look at that thing, right? And you call that tree. And you call that tamarind tree, right? Now, look at it without the word. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We say that's a tamarind tree and look and walk away. But if you don't use the word, will you look more closely?
Yes, sir. So I
Huh?
would like to know what it is.
No. Look, you're going off to something else. I am asking you, will you look at something without naming it?
Yes, sir.
Will you look, you've got a brother?
No, sir.
No, you've got a sister?
Yes.
Will you look at her without calling her sister, having the image of a sister?
Yes, sir.
Will you do it? Do it.
I have done it.
You have done it? What happens there?
I just come to like her even more.
Huh?
I just come to like her even more.
You seem to like her even more. Hmm? Before you didn't.
No, I used to like her, but
Right.
it used to increase.
So, can you, by not naming the thing, what happens? Don't answer, look at it carefully. You look at those yellow flowers, right? Don't name it, just look at it. Right? Then what happens?
You feel it's beautiful.
Huh?
You come to know about it more than you know when you
No, boy,
yeah.
huh?
You don't exactly think.
Did you hear what I said? You don't have to make a face. Hmm? Look at something, look at your sister or your father or your mother, without the word, right? Without the image you have about the father, just look at it. Look at me without the word, the name, right? Without all that you have heard about me. Look at me that way, can you?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
I think.
You can. Then what happens?
get the name in your mind.
Huh?
Suddenly get the name in your mind.
What?
You say that you get
He says suddenly you get the name in your mind.
No, this is very serious, Amma. This is extraordinarily serious if you learn this. It'll alter your whole looking at things. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So then you try to look at the same thing.
No. I am asking you to look at the moon, the new moon, which is going to come up today probably. Look at it, very, very thin slice, isn't it now? Look at it without using the word the moon, the new moon. Just look at it. Huh?
for us to be able to appreciate more, and you just look at, if you're looking at not naming it, suppose you're looking at the rose or something, you're not calling it rose, you're able to appreciate it more.
Yeah. You are able to appreciate it more. You are able to see it much more clearly. Now, will you do that with your father, mother, sister, with your teacher?
I'll try, sir.
Huh?
I'll try.
You can. Have you done it?
Not yet.
No. Will you do it?
Yes.
That is learning.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Learning to look at somebody without the word, without the picture you have about him. Right. Huh?
It's not quite easy, sir, because you remember, you look at certain things, you remember it. I mean, you recollect, you have memory.
Yes, that's right.
And obviously, it's
Look,
not quite easy.
I am your teacher. I scold you. Right? Right? You understand what I said? I scold you. You know what that means? You don't know what scolding is?
Now, you shouted to me.
What?
Yes, he knows it.
If you know it, then you have a picture of me scolding you, don't you? Each time you meet me, you have that picture. Right? So look at me without that picture, without that memory. You get it? Then what happens when you look at your teacher who has scolded you and you do not bring that picture forward as a man who scolds you, then see what happens between you and the teacher.
Your relationship becomes better because you can understand it better.
You look much more closely.
Yeah, and
You look much more, you see what he is actually.
Yeah.
So will you learn that? Do that. Not just one day. Do it always, all your life. Don't make your face.
Sir, I feel that when I try to do it, I can't because I'm aware that I'm trying to do it.
Then don't try. Just do it. You understand? Yes, look. Don't. Do you know how to ride a bicycle? Yes. First 2 or 3 days, somebody helped you. After that, you rode it yourself, right? Now, this morning, I tried to help you to ride the bicycle, right? Right? Afterwards, you have learned. Don't say, I'll try and do it.
Sir, as far as doing is concerned, I can do it for just a moment, but after that, the whole process of my own thinking.
So, but isn't it important to learn how to look without the word? It may do it for a minute, huh? But it comes back. Isn't it important to learn something new? Huh? Then, if that something new is far more important than merely repeating the old thing, then the important takes precedence over the old. Am I using big words?
Sir, the friendship increases.
What?
The friendship increases.
What did he say?
Your friendship increases.
Friendship increases.
Friendship increases. Right. If you remember that I have scolded you and you forget it, we are greater friends, isn't it? Will you do it?
Our relationship is better.
Huh?
Our relationship is better.
But that's right. So, if you do it, your teacher will also do it. You understand?
So if you were to look at your teacher or any other person without the world, then you would try to know much more as to what he is saying or what he wants.
That's right. Will you do it?
Yes, sir, but if I did it,
Not if. You see the difference? You say, if I did it, if I will try and do it, I must do it, then you're not doing it. But you say, yes, I see the importance of that, and I'm doing it. You see the difference?
sir, in that case, if I were to look at him without the word, then I
You
would
don't,
be very
you,
attentive.
you understand what it means without the word.
Yeah, you would look at him as he was and not as what he has done to you earlier
That's
or
right.
what you think he will do to you.
Yeah, that's quite right. So what happens then? Your relationship with the other is much more direct, isn't it? Will you learn that?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Huh?
I'm not very sure.
What?
I'm not very sure if I will, but I'll try.
And
So, but when you try not to, when you try not to remember the name, you You are remembering it.
Of course, of course. So you go and try and do it. Not try, do it. We talked about,
So learning is looking and acting.
Huh?
Isn't learning looking and acting?
That's right. Looking
And acting.
and acting. That's right. Looking is acting. That's too different. Have you learned something this morning?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Have you? Have you?
Yes, sir.
Now will you do it?
Yes, sir.
Good. Will you?
Yes.
Yes. Don't say yes sir, not do it.
I will, sir.
I'm not sure. Then you become a hypocrite. You say, I will, yes, I have understood and not do it. Shall we sit quietly for a minute? All right, sir. All right.